GSTR-1 is your detailed sales diary listing every transaction. GSTR-3B is your summary tax payment slip where you actually settle how much you owe to the government after adjusting your input tax credit. GSTR-1, GSTR-3B both are equally important, and Tally Prime builds both of them automatically from the same vouchers we have been entering it in Tally. Friends, today let us learn about GSTR-1 and GSTR-3B reports. These are not just Tally reports, they are the exact same returns you file on the official GST portal every month or quarter. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what each report contains, how to verify it before filing, and how to export it in the format needed for the GST portal. Friends, now let us get into the practicals. Let us go to Display More Reports, press Enter, go to GST Reports, press Enter, select GSTR-1. And this is the GSTR-1 report generated by Tally. And on the top left corner, you can see GSTR-1. This is the report name on blue bar. And next is GST registration. And this is the GST number of the company. Next is status. And it is mentioned not filed because we have not yet filed the GST return. Next is ARN and ARN date. Both are blank. ARN means acknowledgement reference number. Both are blank because we have not yet filed the GST returns. Once the GST return is filed, you will get the acknowledgement number and date over here. And on the right hand side, you can see the period for which you are filing the GST return. And next line is last online GST activity, no activity found because this is the first GST return we are filing it. And if you come to the particular section, total vouchers is 3 numbers. Total vouchers means it includes all type of vouchers like sales, purchase, journal, payment, whatever it is. It includes all the vouchers in the Tally for the month. And next one is included in return. Only 2. It includes only sales invoices. And next is ready for upload 2 sales invoices. We have only entered 2 sales invoices. That's why it is showing 2 invoices. And next is not uploaded. 2 because we have not yet filed the GST return yet. And not relevant for this returns is other than sales invoice, all the vouchers will come in the column. And uncertain transaction corrections needed. This is the most important section we have to watch before filing the GST return. Because any invoices has a missing GST, an incorrect HSN code or any other issue, Tally will list it here separately. So you can correct it before exporting it. This is a very valuable line. It means you can catch errors inside the Tally before filing the GST return. Now let us see the return view section. Here is the return view section. Let us see one by one. First one is B2B invoices. B2B means business to business invoices. Invoices pertaining to the sales. See here it is showing 2 because we have entered only 2 sales invoices. Next one is B2C. B2C means business to consumers. Large means the invoice value is more than 2.5 lakhs. And we can call it as unregistered dealers because consumers are not GST registered. Business to consumers. And third one is exports. In this line, the sales invoices prepared for the sales made out of India. Those invoices are appearing in this line. Next is credit or debit notes for the registered. That means the credit and debit notes you are raised for the B2B invoices will be appearing in this line. Next is credit or debit notes for unregistered. That is the vouchers credit or debit notes raised for the B2C consumers will appear in this line. Next one is amended B2B invoices. And after that you can see the amended word in many lines. Amended means the corrections you made from the previous return to the particular invoices. For example, in this line, the corrections you made from the previous GST returns to the B2B invoices will appear in this line. In the same way, amended means the corrections made to the previous GST returns. And here B2C, export invoices corrections and credit note, debit note, and here credit and debit note for unregistered from the previous GST returns. Next one is B2C small invoices. B2C means business to consumers. Small means the invoice value below 2.5 lakhs. Those invoices will appear in this line. And next is nil rated invoices. That means the invoices contains the item which does not attract the GST or zero GST invoices will appear in this line. Next is amendment. As I said, amendment means corrections to the previous GST returns to the B2C invoices. Next is tax liability advance received. Here, if you receive any advance from the customer before supplying the goods, those kind of advances attract GST. You have to pay the GST on those advances. So, those entries will appear in this line. Next one is adjustment of advances. Once you raise the invoice and supply the goods to the customer, you have to deduct the GST amount which you have paid on advances. And those entries will appear in this line. And next two lines are amended and amendment. And as I said, this is the corrections you made from the previous GST returns. And now here the column wise, the second column, this is the first column we have reviewed everything, and second column voucher count. It is the total number of vouchers what you have, it is displaying here. And taxable amount, it is the amount quantity into rate before tax. And this is IGST amount, here CGST amount, here total SGST amount. And here in this column, the total of all these three tax amount. And here at the end, invoice amount, that is taxable amount plus tax amount. and the same way at the end total of all these lines will be appearing here in the grand total. And once you verify with these vouchers, you can go to export, click here and select GSTR return. Now this is the GSTR report and here it is export. You can export it to any of your file format and later on you can upload it to the GST portal, and here you can online you can send it to the GST portal. This is all about GSTR-1 returns. Come back by pressing escape. Now let us see about GSTR-3B report. Let us go to display more reports, press enter, go to GST reports, press enter, select GSTR-3B, and this is the GSTR-3B report. It is mentioned on the left top corner. And now let us see from the return view, because all the above section is explained in the GSTR-1 report itself. Now here first one, 3.1 tax on outward and reverse charge inward supply. This is the most important section. It shows the total GST you collected from all your sales during the month, and this details comes directly from all the sales invoice you have entered in Tally. And the heading also says reverse charge inward supply, that is RCM, that we can discuss in the next video. Next one is Interstate Supplies. This name itself says the sales for interstate we made. Those details will appear and Tally automatically pulls it from our report. And next one is eligible for input tax credit. And this whole section 4 is pertaining to the input tax credit. Next one is A, input tax credit available, and this is the total amount of the tax we paid on our purchases during the month, and this data comes from all our purchase entry during the month. And next one is input tax credit reversed. That means first we have claimed as input tax credit and later on it has become ineligible. Those entries will appear in this line. And next one is net input tax credit available, A minus B. This one minus B is equal to this C column will appear here. And next one is other details. First one is ITC reclaimed, which was reversed under table in earlier tax period. That means if you had reversed some ITC in a previous month, but now you want to reclaim it because the supplier has filed their return, that reclaimed amount comes in this column. And next one is ineligible ITC under section restricted due to POC rules. That means this section refers to time limit, and on claiming ITC, if you try to claim ITC on a very old purchase beyond the allowed time, it becomes ineligible, and is reported in this line. Here POS means place of supply. If the place of supply rules restrict your ITC, that amount also appears here. Next one is exempt, nil rated and non-GST inward supply. That means if you purchase any item which is exempt from GST or which attracts zero GST, those entries will appear in this line. And next one is interest, late fee, penalty and others. And this is where any late filing fees or interest on delayed tax payment gets added. That means if you file your GSTR-3B after the due date, the portal calculates the interest and fine. Those amount will appear in this line. And now on the first line, the tax on outward and reverse charge inward supplies. Here the total taxable amount of all our invoices will appear here. And the IGST amount, CGST and SGST will appear in respective columns. And the end total tax amount we have collected in our sales invoices will appear at the end. And next here the input credit, the tax we have paid on purchases will appear here, and net tax will be on this C line will be there. So the net tax amount we have to pay is 61,200 minus 36,000. So after verifying all these entries with your vouchers in Tally, just go to export and GST returns, and this is the GSTR-3B report. You can upload it directly by clicking here or export it to your file format. Then later on you can upload it to the GST portal and come back by pressing escape key. So friends, let us recap what we covered today. GSTR-1 is your detailed invoice-wise sales report, and GSTR-3B is your summary return used to calculate and pay net GST. And Tally builds both the reports automatically from your sales and purchase vouchers. And always check the uncertain transaction section before exporting the GST report. And GSTR-1 and GSTR-3B both are exported for direct upload to the GST portal, or you can export it to the file format and later on you can file it GST returns. Friends, the same way you can practice these reports in your practicing company, and if you have any doubt, any questions, please write it in the comment section. And if you find this video useful, please share it with anyone who is preparing for GST filing for the first time, and subscribe for this channel. Thank you friends. Let us meet with some interesting chapters in the next video.